Right, guys, I think y'all already know what time it is. I've gave some time for everybody to get acquainted, get in here, so we're about to start here in another 30 seconds to a minute. Get my mind right. Hopefully y'all have had a great week. I know I am. I am your host, Tito, and of course this is Tito.tv. Eric, I know you probably can't stand me. I know one reason Eric Panay probably can't stand me. Jesus Christ. Motherfucker firing his weapon as soon as it loaded in. What was I doing? I'm gonna be dead ass honest. I don't know what I was doing. What are you doing? Sorry about your luck. Oh yeah, there's gonna be dogs in a minute. They're coming by about 13 of them motherfuckers. You gotta be careful. Okay, I left the bike. I don't know what I was doing here. Get you some, boy. Alright, somebody's been up here. That wasn't me though. I ain't been up here. That's interesting. They didn't read the bookshelf though. What the fuck? That's weird. Dumbass bitch. Oh, shit's weird. I don't know, I guess she thought it was a game. 0% food up in this bitch. Geek Monkey 17. guys, we're gonna get everything popping here in a minute. I had to restart the world. We're fixing to go. And, honestly, I wouldn't even worry about the world, but we've got other people's stuff that I have to worry about. I don't have anything really to lose, but, others do. Now, with all that being said, we'll give him a moment to find him another room to play in. And while we do that, we're going to go to a commercial break. Are you tired? Do you have back pain? Do you watch Tito.tv and wonder, why isn't this guy a millionaire yet? Well, you're in luck, because I wonder the same fucking shit. Introducing Tito.tv After Dark. You ever wondered, damn, I wish I could just listen to somebody that could put me to sleep? Well, you're in luck, because I'm so fucking boring that you too can be put to sleep by me. With more viewers and more boredom than ever, when I play 7 Days to Die, I'm guaranteed to put your ass to sleep. And by Mountain Dew. This motherfucker's drink enough for me and you. Also by computers. Because motherfucker, I love technology. In part, also brought to you by drugs. Because, hey, they're not that bad. And by Congress. Because government has to work. And we're going to be back to the 7 Days to Live. Hey, welcome back, guys. Hope you like my commercials. We're going to have those periodically here and there to help pay for everything that's going on Tito.tvs. I've got a new corporate connection through YouTube. So, we're doing what we got to do here. But, when you step in the limelight, though, you got a lot of haters. Alright, guys. So we're building up the bridge pieces now. Between the wood and the pick fence. I'm thinking that we'll be able to do that, and then we're probably going to have a forge going 24/7 as we focus on our next move. Hey Google, 7 times 17.
7 times 17 is 119.
Hey Google, 7 times 19.
7 times 19 is 133.
Holy shit. So it'll be 140. Man, that's crazy. Oh, you a bitch. A barbiturate. So we basically still haven't got the, oh, wait, no. I've got pieces too. Yeah, first off, this shit got to be fixed because I got stuck and I about had a fucking heart attack. Oh, it wasn't here. Okay, it was in another place. Which that shit is not gonna work either. So eventually, that's gonna have to be fixed. You know, whatever, dude. Alright, so we're gonna have to fix that. But we've got most of everything laid down. So everything that's laid down, basically just gonna have to add on to. We'll stop by here, see what he's got for today.
If you break it, you buy it.
Alright, let's see. Got some 9mm rounds, about 400. 50 shotgun shells. .62 rounds. Okay, we're gonna have to liquidate something, and I don't really have anything to let go of. Steel crossbow down to 8.
Cha-ching! Thanks,
Buddy. Cha-ching! Thanks, buddy. Alright, let's see what the secret stash got. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is fuck trash. Thanks, buddy.
No refunds. Deal's done. Now
Now beat it, fucker. Got it. 424, 463. I'm about to get a 482 out of that. Alright then. Roll out. Roll out. Oh, that's a gas barrel. I gotta have that. So... Damn, because
I'll sell you goods, but if you cross me, you'll meet the wrong end of I-44.
I mean, you act like somebody gives a shit. Alright. Alright, here's the problem. You don't have shit later.
And treat you that good and you don't even.
Fuck no, I'm not tipping you. You're horrible. Why would I tip a loser? And who the fuck making that noise? Yeah, I got one space. Alright, who's crying? Who wanna die? I need a mixer anyways. Where you at? Where the fuck is you at, boy? Are you way the hell over here, bro? What the fuck? I heard a different one, but whatever. I didn't see any magnum bullets in there, though. I think. I don't even really think I looked. Come on, man. Let's go. Time for all your bullshit, boy. You get mad swinging at me. Shut up. Damn, bro. I shouldn't have did that. Can I put it back? Can you? Oh yeah, baby boy, you can. Oh god, though. Just punching a barrel blow you up, though? I hope not. That ain't gonna let me put. Oh, that's. Oh man. I fucked that up. Alright. So ain't nothing else worth the fucking here either. Man, I fucking goofed. Man, I goofed big time, bro. Shit, man. So I wonder if I can hit these solid concrete blocks and get them to. So you can get about anything in here. Yeah, this. Yeah, this again. I didn't do it. Yeah, this. I didn't do it. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, this. What's that fucking shit say? Spotlight, POI. Point of interest. A mobile spotlight, you can light up your fork. Use a wrench to disassemble and move it. Yeah, dude. Alright, I got my light. Now I need to get the, I need that cement mixer and we're gonna be good to go. I could make it, but who fucking time to do that shit? I don't see any more, so probably just go ahead and head out. But I'm gonna double check just to make sure. Alright, let's ride out, cowboy. That's odd. No, I'm going the wrong fucking way, that's why. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get our wood up. This little bit of gas I'm using, oh my god. Watch this, how much wood I'll get. I had 81, 82 gas, something like that. You pick and choose the trees correctly, get you on the big boys. That's my last one right there. That's my target. That's my target tree right there. And that's it. That's all she wrote for now. Alright, let's see what we got out of that. 2,000, bro. That's garbage. Alright, whatever. Let's put the axe in our hands. We're gonna go back down to the old way right quick. Killer axe. Wow. I mean, hell, that's 150 a pop, so fuck it. That'd be crazy if, like, they fell on you and then hurt and killed you and shit. Whoa, shit, be careful. Fuck, goddamn tree hit me. Jealous again. Alright. Alright, this will be the last tree. Alright. Let's go. I kind of feel like I could extend that all out in wood and it would still work the same way. This big ass dip, I don't like it. Either way, it's gonna have to be graduated out. Cause I mean, that's just stupid, bro. It's almost like, yeah, it's almost fucking even with the fucking shit. Yeah, that's some goofball shit right there. Okay, so we're fucking like 1, 2. That's 3 right there. Alright, so. Alright, this is where the game gets fucking stupid. But I enjoy it, to be honest with you. It's like therapy, man. It's just all about what you can handle, enjoy, whatever. So we got a pretty good bridge going on. All I gotta do is walk backwards. I don't really have my rails up, but I will say one of the advantages of having a triple deck system, when you go to put in your railing, it acts off of 1 cubic blocks. Per se you ran 2x2, it's gonna react off those 2 blocks, and you'll run into problems that are a little too hard to explain right now, but you get it if you were to do it. But saying all that to pretty much say, hey, when you do 3, I don't run into certain other problems as much, such as like when I'm putting on my railing, it won't face a right certain way if it's not done a certain way. Why does it keep doing that? Man, it's messing up, son. Wow. Oh my god, bro. Come on, man. This is just fucking wonderful. Screw it. Go with the flow. Probably be faster less anyways. Jealous. Oh yeah, jealous again. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. No, he's speeding now, boys. God damn it. Well, we was speeding. Shit. Oh, I don't even know what the fuck gonna happen now. Fucker, man. Man, it's so... I don't know why I should always jerks up. Alright, I gotta get food. This is so fucking annoying. Fuck. Man, come on, Tito. God. How hard is it to stay on a bridge, bro? Come on. Oh my god. I got jump up spots. Oh my god, bro. This shit is so stupid, bro. Man. Get the fuck up there. She's a super freak. Super freak. She's super freaky. Damn. Three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Should be like right there. It's just a 1, 2. So 3. And then you gotta. I gotta round this corner out, or it looks dumb as hell. Alright. There There we go. I really don't like having bins like this, man. But what can you do? There's one, there's two, there's three. Alright, that's a three bin. Let's see, that's 1, 2. And that's a 1, 2 right there, isn't it? 1, 2. Alright, there we go there. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I think that's enough. Oh, shit. Alright, we're gonna need a couple more of these. Come on. Let's say 5 apiece. Let's do about 333 of these motherfuckers. Alright, now. Keep me up. I'm gonna try to set up right here. Ah. Fucking putting them in the water for, like, whoa, dude. Whew. Alright, we need some background noise. See, on this bridge, dogs and shit, they get caught up. I love it. Spotlight fire, baby. Alright. Chitty chitty bang bang. Why is this thing doing that? Oh my god. Oh, fuck!
We're feeling pressure. A local young woman had vanished under suspicion. In October of 2019, detectives with New York's Gloversville Police Department were feeling pressure. A local young woman had vanished under suspicious circumstances, and multiple days had now passed without any sign of her. Perhaps worse, the case still had no clear direction, and what few leads investigators did have only appeared to be sending them on a series of wild goose chases. One thing was certain: authorities were in a race against the clock, and time was rapidly slipping away. All of that would change, however, when authorities sat down with a witness who appeared to know more than he was letting on. At first, he was hesitant to speak up, but by the time the interview was over, he had revealed everything police needed to move the case forward. He had also made one of the most startling and disturbing admissions they had ever heard. At around 10 p.m. on the night of October 29th, 2019, officials at the local police department in Gloversville, New York, received a call from a young woman. The woman sounded worried and said that she hadn't been able to reach her sister, 22-year-old Elizabeth Lamont. Elizabeth, who went by Allie, was usually in regular contact with her and other members of the family. However, none of them had heard from her for more than a day. She wondered if maybe Allie had gotten in some trouble or something, and asked if authorities might have some idea who she was. A quick search revealed that there was nothing on file involving Allie and the Gloversville PD, so they offered to send someone over to try and check up on the 22-year-old. The sister explained that she wasn't 100% sure where Allie was living at the moment, since she had recently broken up with her longtime boyfriend, but she was able to provide police with the address of an apartment on the south side of the city. Not long after this, an officer named Chad Simonson drove out to the location. When he did, he found the place cleaned out and vacant. While this wasn't officially cause for alarm just yet, the situation made Officer Simonson feel uneasy. His instincts would soon be proven correct when he returned to the station and learned that a second call had come in about Allie Lamont. This one had been made by a friend of hers named Jenny Young, who was insistent that she needed to file a missing persons report. Jenny cleared up the mystery about the vacant apartment, saying that Allie had actually been living with her and her young child at their place for the last month. However, much like Allie's sister, she said that she also hadn't been able to get a hold of her for more than 24 hours. With that, an official investigation into Allie's disappearance was launched. last time she met Allie was the previous day, October 28th, when Allie was at work at the local number 9 smokehouse and sub shop in nearby Johnstown. She had texted asking if she could drop off the phone charger. Jenny had agreed, driving over sometime late that afternoon. Several hours later, Jenny said she texted Allie asking if she needed a ride home since she didn't have a car. Allie never replied to the message, nor did she answer any other messages or calls from that point on. She also never came back home. The next morning, Jenny said that she was concerned enough that she went back to the local number 9, thinking there was a possibility Allie might be there. She wasn't, and her manager said that he hadn't expected to see her because she wasn't scheduled to work that day. A few hours after this, that Jenny had reached out to the police. Detectives asked Jenny if she had any theories about Allie's disappearance. Was it possible that she had run off somewhere? Or was there any other reason she might have gone missing of her own accord? Jenny said that she didn't believe that Allie would have taken off without letting anyone know where she was going. On top of this, the pair of them had plans to take her kid trick-or-treating together on Halloween. She said Allie was looking forward to it. As to where Allie could be, and for what reason, Jenny said that she had no idea. If something had to have been happening, Jenny stated that she probably would have picked up on it, or else Allie would have confided in her that something was wrong. After all, they had been friends since they were 13. She said that their last interaction had been completely normal, with Allie laughing and joking around like always. At the same time that detectives interviewed Jenny, other members of the investigative team spoke with Allie's family. Their goal was to learn as much as they could about the 22-year-old's life, looking for anything that might explain her sudden disappearance. Allie had been born and raised in Brooklyn and attended Saratoga Springs High School. Despite moving out after finishing school, she had stayed in the area, taking jobs that kept her near her family and her small, tight-knit circle of friends. She was close with all of her family members, but especially her 3 sisters, who she considered the most important people in her life. Allie's parents described her as a hard worker and said she possessed incredibly strong character for someone her age. Her father, Sherman, in particular, said he admired the way that his daughter carried herself. She was quick to stick up for others and wasn't afraid to speak up if she felt that something wasn't right. At the time of her disappearance, Allie's family said that she had been trying to get back on her feet after a rough breakup a couple of months earlier. She had been with her boyfriend Tyler for about 4 years, but the relationship had ended on pretty bad terms. Like said, according to the family, things looked like they had really turned a corner for Allie in the last month. She was saving up for an apartment of her own, and had started dating a new guy named Billy. After listening to all of this, unfortunately, police weren't really any closer to understanding why Allie might have gone missing. However, at the very least, they knew there were now 2 obvious leads that they needed. Though no one close to Allie Lamont seemed to have any idea where she was, from their conversations with her friends and family, detectives with the Gloversville Police Department had come across 2 names that they wanted to check out. These were her current and former boyfriends, William and Tyler. Detectives decided to start with William, reasoning that he was likely one of the last people in contact with the 22-year-old. Detectives drove to William's house, only to discover that he wasn't there. His brother told officers that he was actually out looking for Allie as well, and had been on and off since he discovered that she was missing. Police left a message with the brother, asking William to call them, then moved on to try and question Tyler. They arrived at his address, only to find that he wasn't around either. Deciding that they needed to keep going, investigators made the short trip over to Johnstown to visit the local number 9 where Allie worked. By this point, it was around 8 a.m. on October 30th, and the 48-hour mark of the 22-year-old's disappearance was rapidly approaching. Authorities were starting to get nervous. They hoped that they might be able to obtain surveillance footage, additional witness statements, or at least something that could help to point them in the right direction. When they arrived, detectives asked to speak with the same person that Jenny told them that she had talked to, Allie's manager, James Jimmy Duffy. employee, who identified herself as Jimmy's girlfriend, Kristen Buratoski, said he wouldn't be in for at least another couple of hours. She gave detectives Jimmy's cell phone number, as well as the number of the store's owner, Georgios Kakavelos. However, neither man answered when they called. Police, this was becoming a frustrating pattern. None of their potential suspects or witnesses seemed to be reachable, beginning to wonder if it was intentional. Worried that they were losing momentum, Gloversville PD requested the help of the New York State Police, hoping that their additional resources could help to speed up the pace of the investigation. State authorities began re-interviewing witnesses and reanalyzing what detectives had uncovered so far, searching for anything that might have been overlooked. Meanwhile, Allie's family and friends stepped up their own search efforts, handing out flyers, posting on social media, and just generally trying to get the word out about her disappearance. While it's unclear how much of a role these efforts played in what came next, at the same time that more eyes were starting to be drawn to the case, police suddenly started hearing back from all of the people that they had been trying to contact. They were able to sit down with both William and Tyler in quick succession. William told detectives that he and Allie had only been dating for a month. As far as he was concerned, everything was going well in the relationship. He was able to provide police with an alibi that was very different. His family and friends had been drinking beers at a local cemetery and other places. He also shared his last few text calls. They had last spoken early in the evening on October 28th, though the messages didn't seem to have anything to do with Allie's disappearance. The final message between them had been sent at 6:39 p.m. when the 22-year-old was still at work. When asked if he could think of any reason why Allie might have left of her own accord, William initially gave an answer similar to Jenny's. However, after thinking about this for a while, he said that actually there was something that police should know about. A little while before she went missing, Allie had confided in him that she was feeling depressed, and she was considering checking herself in for mental health treatment. She had decided against this, though, saying that she couldn't afford it, didn't have health insurance. Understandably, the information that William provided was concerning. It became even more alarming when detectives received an update from the state police. A more thorough search of records revealed that this wasn't actually the first time that Allie had gone missing. When she was younger, she had run away from home several times. Most of these incidents had been minor and had been quickly resolved, but it was possible that something like this could be happening again. Of course, if it was mental health related, Allie could still be in serious danger, so the faster authorities could find her, the better. No sooner had authorities learned of all of this than they were pulled in a completely different direction by their interview with Tyler. Prior to sitting down with him, they had also learned some troubling information about the ex-employee. It turned out that Tyler had been in trouble with police several times. While most of these interactions were related to disorderly conduct incidents, one of them stuck out. It was a domestic abuse case involving Allie Lamont. It had taken place just a couple of months ago. When detectives asked Tyler about the situation, he said that yes, Allie had suffered minor injuries as a result of the incident, but that police had the wrong idea about what had happened. Tyler said that back in August, Allie had shown up at his place in a complete rage. She had found out that he had been cheating on her with one of her best friends, and it was actually her who had attacked him. Tyler said that the marks on Allie's body mentioned in the police report detectives had seen were from when he had been forced to restrain her. After that, he said their relationship was over, and he had blocked Allie on his phone and on social media. He stated he hadn't heard from her since then, and up until now had no idea she was missing. Investigators weren't sure if they believed Tyler's story, and they definitely felt that the timing of the disappearance so close to the domestic abuse incident was suspicious. That being said, they had no actual evidence against him, and as a result, had no choice but to let him go. The final loose end authorities wanted to follow up on was at Allie's workplace, where they sent another team of investigators back to the local neighborhood. They were finally able to make contact with the manager and owner of the Jimmy Duffy, and Giorgio Scott's. Upon walking inside, detectives noticed that the situation at the store was a bit chaotic. There were building materials all over the place. And on the front window, there was a sign saying that the business was under renovations. Giorgio said that they were still open, but that they were in the middle of updating the restaurant's interior. The construction had been causing a few issues, and on top of this, they had recently been experiencing problems with their soda machines. I said that this was no problem, and after explaining why they were there, asked the men if they wouldn't mind coming down to the station to answer a few questions instead. They both agreed, and were brought into separate interview rooms. Almost immediately, investigators realized that they weren't going to get anything usable from Jimmy. He was behaving strangely. He was clearly intoxicated. He quickly admitted that he had a drug and alcohol problem. Still, he said that Allie was his friend and was adamant that he wanted the police to find her.
Under alcohol, then.
The interview with Giorgio's, on the other hand, started out a lot smoother. He said that he and Jimmy had both worked with Allie the night that she was last seen. Because that was the night that the soda machines were starting. The syrup from inside had leaked out all over the kitchen floors, and it had taken them forever to clean it up. Giorgios explained that Allie was supposed to close her down that night, but she had ended up leaving early. He said she was complaining about having to help with the soda syrup cleanup, so eventually he just let her go home. He was annoyed, because that day he had agreed to give Allie a $500 loan to help her with a new apartment she was in. Giorgio said that after giving her the money, she took off. That was the last he saw of her.
She was helping with the syrup situation. She complained she didn't want to do it.
She left around what time do you think? So she took the $500 that night.
What time she left? I've got to say anywhere between 7 to 8. She said, "Thank you, George."
She said, thank you.
Yes. She said, "Thank you, George." I said, "Just be good." I yelled, "Just be good." And then she left.
Just like they had with the other people he spoke to. Detectives asked Giorgios if he had any theories about what might have happened to him. Was there anyone he was suspicious of, or anywhere he could think of that the 22-year-old might have gone? In particular, they wanted to know about Jimmy. What was his deal? Could he have been involved somehow? Giorgio said that Allie was his best employee, and over the 6 months that she had worked for him, they had gotten pretty close. He began to think of her like one of his own children. But the more he learned about Allie's life, the more concerned he became about her. He feared something like this might happen. As for what exactly had been the cause, Giorgio said it was hard to narrow down. Allie hung around some pretty rough people, and she had also told him about the abusive relationship she was in with her ex-boyfriend. Then there were the problems she was experiencing with her mental health. At one point, Giorgio's claimed she had said some pretty dark stuff about not wanting to be around anymore.
But she was trouble, girl. Rough. It was rough. I tried to help her. I tried to be a father to her. A few times. Her boyfriend was beating her up. I felt bad for her. I treated her literally as a daughter of mine. Then one day she says to me, "I don't want to be here. I had enough of this." I said, You mean you don't want to work anymore?" "I have enough of my life," she said.
As for whether Jimmy could have been involved, Giorgio said he doubted it. He admitted that the manager had a bad side, but said that he was mostly a good employee. As far as he knew, Jimmy and Allie were friends.
The one thing we never talked about is Jim has anything to do with this.
I really don't think so. He doesn't have the both.
Like anything that harms her or do anything to her or anything like that.
They were friends. They were buddies.
While detectives had no reason to doubt anything Giorgios had said up until this point, something about this last bit of their conversation just didn't feel right. Jimmy had been acting very suspicious during his own interview. But Georgios really didn't seem like he wanted to talk about it. The more they pushed him, the more he seemed intent on sticking up for Jimmy. When investigators started asking Georgios about any conversations he might have had with his manager, or messages he might have sent him in the last couple of days, Georgios started to become less cooperative. He agreed to show detectives some of the call records between them, but when they came across a 36-minute call and a message Jimmy had sent, Georgios got visibly nervous. He refused to play any of the message unless he could go through it first alone, playing it off like Jimmy might have been discussing something racy about women, and that was why he was concerned.
So keep going now. Then there's a couple calls James right there. This one's 36 minutes long. 36 minutes. What I'm denying you is a lot of private, personal information.
Is Jimmy a good worker?
He's heavy, yes. He has a bad side. He has a bad side.
Are you sticking up for Jimmy?
When you stick up for Jimmy, are you well sense?
Like, maybe he had something to do with it and you just don't want to come forward?
What's the conversation you had with Jimmy that day? I want to remember it first. Because he revolves around women, I don't want to play. I don't care.
You think he'll care about you?
I know. I don't really care. I do. So you're not allowed to listen. That's what I'm taking right now. That's good for enough.
After putting pressure on Georgios to no avail, detectives decided to end the interview. They knew where they wanted to take the investigation next, but it would have to wait until the following day. On the morning of October 31st, nearly 3 days after Ali Lamont had disappeared, detectives with the Gloversville PD and the New York State Police made an unannounced visit to the home of Jimmy Duff. Their plan was straightforward. They got there bright and early, hoping they would be able to speak to the 33-year-old before he had a chance to drink or take any drugs that day. Almost immediately after getting Jimmy down at the station, investigators could tell they were in for a very different interview. He was clearly sober and was far less aggressive than he had been the previous day. Still, he started off with the same story. He had no idea where Ali was, and claimed that he was just as concerned as anyone else about what happened.
Okay, trust me, I do. Because I want my friend back. Okay? I don't know what you want, right? You know, I work here. I can get a little put on. So you need to push her. You gotta know. And you can't get around with her. You do. You might. You can walk about it, but you're not the help. Or you're the guy that helps. Now you're a worker for her. You can't. You're a rich type lady. We can start with that too, anyway.
The next thing, Jimmy talked was so busy, refusing to say much more than I had planned. Slowly, cracks started to appear in his story.
No.
Something went too far that night, and I'm trying to figure it out. You have the answer to the puzzle here.
I need to clear my mind. Okay.
Eventually, Jimmy admitted that he was holding information back, but said that he had demands. He wanted to be sure that no matter what he told detectives, he would be able to walk out of there a free man.
I want it signed by the DA. And everything, you guys leave me alone. I walk out of here, put me on a bus, and I can go. No one promises you anything here. That's why I'm talking to you. If she overdosed, if she's unfit, I can tell you that. So you can get that. Obviously, she's chopped up into pieces. You know, it's different.
Police told Jimmy that they weren't going to promise him anything, especially since they didn't know what kind of situation they were dealing with, but that they would see what they could do. That's when his demeanor completely changed, and he let out a laugh that disturbed investigators to their core. After a little more coaxing, Jimmy said that he was fine finally ready to talk. What he would do next was more twisted than anyone could have prepared for. Jimmy said that in the weeks leading up to Allie's disappearance, she had been causing problems at the local Perma-Death. The owner, Georgios, was under investigation for some tax stuff, and Allie had started to complain about some of his business practices. At first, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. It was until Allie threatened to file a complaint with the state labor board. That's when Georgios came to Jimmy, saying they had to find a way to get rid of her. He worried that she was going to ruin him and the business. He claimed he had a plan. Jimmy explained that on October 28th, they scheduled it so that the two of them and Allie were closing together. He said that Georgios gave him a bunch of money to buy drugs and also bought him a case of beer. It was to help him to work up the nerve on what he had to do next. At around 7:30 p.m., after all the other employees had left for the night, Jimmy, who was now extremely intoxicated, had come back into the restaurant. He snuck into the kitchen where Allie was busy washing dishes, then attacked her in the head with an aluminum bat. Georgios quickly joined in, grabbing some sort of bag which he used to choke out. Jimmy said the whole thing had been far more difficult than either of them had anticipated. Allie kept fighting back, resulting in taking turns hitting him with a small sledgehammer.
They gave me $500 to do all these drugs, so that way I could build up the courage to do this. Bought me a case of beer, smack her on the head with a bat. We had a bag, started choking her. And then said she's not going down, she's not dying. She started kicking them off, this, that, and the third. I said to go get him the little sledgehammer. Gave me the little sledgehammer and the little sledgehammer. One each from both of us. And we continued to choke her for a while. She kept twitching.
After Allie was dead, Jimmy said that they started working on covering up the murder. They had planned the construction of the business to coincide with the murder, so that any kind of mess seemed less suspicious. Once again, they hadn't counted on how big a job this would be. Georgios went out to get their supplies. While in the meantime, Jimmy cut the lines to the soda machine and poured syrup all over the kitchen floors to mask the blood while he mopped it up. When Georgios returned, Jimmy stated that they loaded Allie's body into his car along with any supplies they used. This part was also completely improvised, with Jimmy explaining that they had driven around for what seemed like hours looking for places to dispose of all of the incriminating evidence. They opted not to use a local landfill, then scoped out at least 2 more unsuccessful spots before finally making a decision. They threw the aluminum bat into a pond about 15 miles east of Gloversville, near the intersection of Mechanic Street and Dean Long Road. A little ways up the road, they dumped the bags full of cleaning supplies and other evidence in the woods. The final stop was an additional 15 miles away, this time in the town of Malta. It was here, just off the Adirondack Northway, that Jimmy and Georgios dragged Allie's body out of the vehicle, abandoning it in another section of dense forest next to one of the number 13 on-ramps. Jimmy said that at first he thought this was the end of things, but that the following day, Georgios told him they had to tie up some loose ends. The next night, they went back out to where they left Allie, this time carrying additional supplies. Jimmy said that once again he was incredibly messed up on alcohol and drugs, but still, Georgios made him do all of the work. He claimed that if he saw Allie's face, it would haunt him, and literally began to throw him to continue digging in and shooting the grave. Once Allie's body was inside, they covered it with fertilizer, cement, and concrete blocks, before filling in the rest with dirt. Trying to secure the evidence of digging, covered the grave up with branches, leaves, grass, and whatever other vegetation they could find. Following his gut-wrenching confession, detectives asked Jimmy Duffy to take them out to the various dump sites he had described. He agreed. They were not only able to recover Allie Malone's body, but also the bags of evidence and even the aluminum bat that had been thrown into the pond. Like many other things they hadn't thought of, it turned out that neither Georgios nor Jimmy had realized that would float. With all of this evidence, authorities brought Georgios in for questioning one final time. Though he didn't know Jimmy had confessed and had been taken into custody, he was nervous from the get-go and refused to say much. Deputies realized he wasn't going to come clean and placed him under arrest as well.
Yesterday, you didn't read my rights. The fact you read my rights today, that's a sign to me. You're taking the conversation now from our general to what he said versus what I said. I'm not going to do that without an attorney. Can I call my attorney first? Put your hands behind your back. You did not. Arrest.
After their arrests, Jimmy and Georgios took drastically different approaches when it came to dealing with the impending murder charges against them. Jimmy continued to cooperate and eventually agreed to take a plea deal for second-degree murder. Georgios promptly turned around and blamed Jimmy for everything. He claimed that while he had helped Jimmy dispose of his body, he had only done so out of fear. He said he merely stumbled on the crime scene after Jimmy had committed the murder, and that had only participated once Jimmy had threatened him and his family. The case went to trial in May of 2021. Georgios and his defense team appeared incredibly confident that their version of events would be believed. To give you an idea of just how confident, here's a statement from his lawyer, Kevin O'Brien, who told the media after learning Jimmy would be testifying for the state, quote, "The government has bought what this drunk, self-serving crackhead has sold them to get a better deal for himself. Now the prosecutors will have to watch as I destroy Duffy and the government's case in front of the jury." As you may have already guessed,
You're not bringing
this comment
counterfeit
could not
money in
enter
here, are you?
for the next 6 weeks. Prosecutors will be 7 different means of evidence. He wasn't the only witness. In total, more than 60 people would take the stand during the proceedings. Many of them helped to fill in crucial details about the lead-up to murder. Among them, several current and former employees of the local firm who said that they had witnessed the tension between Allie and Georgios prior to the crime. Contrary to what Jimmy had originally described as Allie just complaining and causing problems at the restaurant, other staff members said that Allie had been trying to stick up for her co-workers. Georgios had been paying people late and under the table, hadn't paid proper financial records, and had been refusing to compensate people for overtime hours worked altogether. She had threatened to file a complaint with the labor board if he didn't change how he was running things. Georgios' lawyers argued that he didn't actually care about what Allie was doing. He had owned several previous restaurants and had dealt with this kind of thing before. It certainly wouldn't have been enough to make him resort to murder. However, this was really only half the story. You see, while it was true that Georgios had dealt with employee complaints before, he had never been in a financial hole like the one he was in now. He owed more than $70,000 to the state of New York and more than $122,000 to the IRS. And this was part of the reason for his shady business practices. Prosecutors argued that Georgios knew that if Allie's labor complaint went through and an actual investigation into his finances were launched, it would reveal that he had been committing tax fraud. Also, while we're on the subject of Georgios' former businesses, according to sources we came across in our research, it seems that at least one of his diners mysteriously burned down at a rather convenient time when it wasn't doing well. He was investigated for this, and it was actually brought up at his trial, though it's unclear if the jury was allowed to hear this. Anyway, just as Georgios' lawyer had promised, their main attack was on the credibility of Jimmy Duffy as the state's star witness. Georgios ended up taking the stand in his own defense, giving multiple days of tear-filled testimony in which he claimed that he loved Allie and that he only helped Jimmy because he was afraid for his life. Unfortunately for Georgios, his extremely emotional story seemed hard to believe after one particularly important piece of evidence was presented. It was surveillance footage from the Walmart where he had bought cleaning supplies on the night of Allie Lamont's murder. In the footage, Georgios could be seen casually strolling through the aisles before finally making his purchases. Among those were a car magazine and an Almond Joy chocolate bar. As you might imagine, Georgios had a hard time explaining these last two purchases. You know, since people in life or death situations don't generally stop to tickle their sweet tooth and pick up a bit of light reading. When called out on this by prosecutors, Georgios had the audacity to claim that he bought the car magazine for Jimmy Duffy. This fell flat, especially since Jimmy neither owned a car nor had a driver's license. Similarly, Georgios wasn't able to provide satisfying answers for why he hadn't tried to alert police to what had happened while he traveled to Walmart alone that night, despite confirming that he had his cell phone with him. On June 17, 2021, the jury took just a few hours to find Georgios Kakabellos guilty of first-degree murder, second-degree conspiracy, concealment of a corpse, and tampering with physical evidence. He was sentenced to prison without the possibility. At the sentencing, Allie's family members gave extremely heart-wrenching statements about the sense of loss they had experienced as a result of this crime.
Sale is a sale, even if it's
The wonderful
just
daughter
$10
and sister
back then.
Grant, while her father Sherman called Allie a, quote, good girl with a big heart who stood up for the little girl. She continued, quote, it is a terrible thing to think about every day. We are very changed people. I cry all the time. When given an opportunity to speak at his sentencing, James Duffy apologized to the law. Nothing I can say isn't conformed. Sentence to 18 years ago, prison operation weeks. Eligible for parole in 2037 at the age of 52. We cover a lot of heinous crimes on this channel, but I'm just going to come out and say it. Georgios Kakabellos is one of the biggest pieces of shit. I'm not at all saying that I think James Duffy deserves to get an off the hook, because what he did was horrifying. But in my opinion, it's clear to see how Georgios manipulated his addiction for his own private purposes. The thing that gets me the most is that no matter what way you look at it, murdering Allie Lamont never would have solved Georgios' problems. At best, he was kicking the can down the road a bit. Because let's be honest, the IRS was coming for their money eventually. As soon as they did, they were going to figure out who was cooking his books. In the end, Allie was brutally killed because she wanted to try and do what was right. She didn't want her co-workers to be taken advantage of. That is a truly heartbreaking thing. Before we wrap up, we'd like to take a second to give a huge shout out to everyone who has made it this far in this video. Seriously.
Ow.
Thank you so much for watching. If you found today's upload interesting and informative, we'd be honored if you consider liking and subscribing, as well as hitting the notification bell and selecting all notifications to stay up to date with our latest releases. If you're looking for additional ways to help support the channel, we'd love to have you join us over on Patreon. Patrons get ad-free and early access to all of our content, as well as 4 additional stories per week for each of our Crimes of the Week and Crimes of the Week International series. You can learn more at patreon.com/crimezone, where you'll also find some of the fine folks whose names are currently on screen. All that being said, we understand that not everyone has the means to support financially, and that's totally okay. We appreciate every like, sub, share, and comment that you send our way. Once again, thanks so much, everyone, and take care. As hard as it is to believe, 2023 is almost behind us. If you tuned into our compilation earlier this week, you'll know that we're marking the occasion by taking a look back at some of the strangest crime stories we covered this year. Today's video is going to be focusing exclusively on stories from our Crimes of the Week International series. Just a heads up, because this is a compilation-style video, keep in mind that these segments have not been edited since they first appeared on their respective lists. So references to specific dates of the week, as well as other small details, may no longer apply. If you missed the video from earlier this week, we've included a link to that in the description below. Also, we just wanted to give a quick thanks to every single one of you out there tuning in. You've all helped make 2023 another unforgettable year. We're eternally grateful for all the Here's to an even better 2024. Representatives from Egypt's public prosecution office say that a trio of would-be thieves are in custody this week after they were allegedly caught red-handed pillaging an ancient historical site and were trying to make off with a rather ambitious haul. The incident took place sometime recently, just outside the city of Aswan, located about 425 miles south of the capital of Cairo. Aswan is reportedly home to some of the country's most prized archaeological sites. Unfortunately, this means that along with tourists, the city attracts its fair share of looters as well. According to reports, the three alleged thieves in this case set their sights fairly high. Found that they had snuck into an ancient quarry and were planning to steal an entire statue of Pharaoh Ramses II. The statue weighed an estimated 10 metric tons. As you can imagine, stealing a statue of this weight and size wasn't the most subtle operation. Authorities say that in order to actually lift it, the suspects had brought a crane with them. The men were arrested at the site in possession of the crane, as well as manual digging tools which they allegedly planned to use to further illegally excavate the area. At the time of this recording, it's unclear what charges the trio could be facing. Authorities say that they are still investigating the situation and that they may have already found video evidence of other similar crimes on the suspect's cell phone. Police also say that they are looking into whether more people might have been involved in this particular operation. Authorities in the Chinese city of Shanghai say that a 28-year-old man is in custody this week after he got into a fight with staff at a high-end hotel and apparently decided to get revenge by driving through the lobby with his car. The incident took place sometime in the late morning hours of January 10th at the Jinling Purple Mountain Hotel Shanghai, located in the city's Pudong district. It began when the suspect, a 28-year-old man identified only by the name Chen, got into a heated argument with several of the building's employees. According to reports, Chen had been staying at the hotel, but at some point had become upset over a missing laptop, which he claimed had been stolen. The full circumstances of what happened aren't exactly clear, but in some reports we came across, hotel staff claimed that the computer was later found outside. Regardless, it appears that the situation was not handled to Chen's satisfaction, so much so that after his argument with the hotel's employees that morning, the 28-year-old apparently decided he would settle the score in a dramatic and highly illegal fashion. After jumping behind the wheel of his white sports car, Chen allegedly smashed his way through the glass front doors of the hotel. He then proceeded to drive erratically around the lobby, crashing into and destroying anything that got in his way. The whole thing finally came to an end when the 28-year-old reportedly drove back towards the hotel entrance, presumably in an attempt to get back outside the same way he had come in. However, this time, he hit a door frame and got stuck, at which point he was apparently surrounded by hotel staff and other terrified onlookers who screamed at him to get out of the car. He was eventually arrested at the scene by police. At the time of this recording, it's unclear whether Chen has yet been formally charged or what charges he could be facing. He reportedly remains in police custody. Indonesian burglar was apparently left embarrassed and empty-handed this week after he tried to break into a local business only to realize that he had made a big mistake. According to reports, the incident took place in the early morning hours of January 8th in the popular Bali resort village of Canggu. It began when a suspect, an unidentified man dressed all in black, apparently decided to try and force his way inside a local cell phone store. After realizing he could squeeze his way through a narrow gap in the rolling metal security shutters to get inside, the man did just that. Unfortunately, he had barely made it halfway in before realizing that the business was not actually unoccupied. The owner was actually sitting right at the front desk, leading to a rather awkward encounter. It was at this point that the suspect seemingly thought twice about what he was doing, and embarrassingly saw himself out the same way he had come in, all while the startled business owner tried to ask him what the hell he thought he was doing. Honestly, it's really way better if you just see the whole thing for yourself. I don't know about you, but I could feel the tension in the room there. While it's unclear if police are currently searching for this suspect, since he never actually followed through with the burglary. If nothing else, hopefully this bonehead learned a thing or two and won't try this again anytime soon. Authorities in the English county of Hampshire say that 2 men have been sentenced this week after they, quote, idiotically broke into a zoo and distressed several of the animals there before posting footage of their crime to social media. According to reports, the incident took place nearly 2 years ago on February 15, 2021, when 24-year-old Bradley and 21-year-old Nathan Daniels decided to travel to the Marwell Zoo, that would be closed to the public because of a pandemic lockdown. After arriving at the facility, prosecutors say that they cut a fence at the exterior of the property in order to gain access. Inside the zoo, a pair of men reportedly engaged in senseless acts of vandalism that both damaged enclosures and frightened several of the animals. Police apparently later found a plastic bottle, sticks, and stones that had been thrown into the tiger enclosure, a life preserver which had been hurled into the penguin enclosure, and a plastic bottle and bucket in the giraffe enclosure. While all of the animals affected showed signs of distress after the break-in was uncovered, it appears that the giraffes got the worst of it. After breaking a door that led to their enclosure, Green reportedly threw a bottle at one of the animals, hitting it in the neck. The men not only filmed themselves doing this, but when it was later brought up in court, Green claimed he had done it to, quote, get the giraffe's attention. The same footage, along with others that Green and Daniels took and posted to Snapchat, was reportedly seen by concerned members of the public who tipped off police. After pleading guilty to several charges related to the 2021 incident, this week, Green and Daniels were each sentenced to a 12-month community order with 120 hours of unpaid work. They were also each ordered to pay £750, or about $930 US, in compensation to the Marwell Zoo. Authorities in the Ecuadorian port city of Guayaquil say that a local man is facing serious charges after he set his own truck on fire in the middle of a busy street and threatened police officers when he was pulled over for a series of traffic offenses. The incident took place sometime this week when the unidentified suspect was pulled over driving a red 1977 Datsun truck on Macala Avenue, an arterial road in the city's east. According to police, it was pretty obvious that the man was breaking the law. The vehicle was pretty much a traffic violation on wheels. Not only was the truck missing the rear license plate, the thing had apparently failed previous safety inspections and hadn't even been registered since 2014. The man also didn't have a driver's license. Though the man likely had to know that he was already facing some hefty fines, as well as the confiscation of his vehicle, he had a different idea upon being pulled over. That idea can perhaps best be summed up as, if I can't have the truck, no one can. After stepping out of the vehicle, the suspect allegedly grabbed a container of gasoline and, in full view of police, started to liberally slosh it onto the truck's hood and into its interior. He then took a few steps back, struck a match, and threw it. The vehicle quickly erupted into flames. According to reports, up to and including this point, it appears that most onlookers were actually on the suspect's side. As witnesses filmed the incident, quite a few people could even be heard actively egging the man on, shouting things like, burn it, and put it on fire. However, it turned out that the suspect wasn't done just quite yet. With his container of gasoline still in hand, he started trying to douse the officers who pulled him over, allegedly threatening to burn them alive. This is when the crowd reportedly started to turn on the man, and he was taken into custody. While it's unclear exactly what kind of penalties the suspect is now looking at, it's safe to say that they will likely be much more severe than a few traffic fines. At the time of this recording, the man reportedly remains in police custody.